What's going on, everybody? My name is Paul. Thank you for joining me here at All In today. So today we are going to be playing the new game called The Sinking City. It's a game based on H.P. Lovecraft's works, like Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that. Dagon, things that are along in that line. Pretty much fish people, elder gods, squid men. That's what we can be looking for. Octopus men, I guess I should say, is what we'll be looking forward to. The game is made by the developers of the Sherlock Holmes games. So if you'd ever seen those, it's that type of investigation type game, but they've also added in combat and more of a horror element, H.P. Lovecraft. So it's a game that I've actually been looking forward to. I've seen a little bit of coverage of it, and I really hope that it turned out well. I've actually myself never played any of those Sherlock Holmes games, but I've always heard good things and always wanted to. I just knew that I was too dumb to ever figure that stuff out. So hopefully they make it a little bit easier in this. But let's go ahead and get started. Frosty welcome. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested us to research the outburst of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass, it turns out that the assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn from Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here and help you on your way. Cordially, Joanne Vanderberg. Stuck in your investigation. Yeah. I'm probably going to crank down the music a little bit. So just like in the Call of Cthulhu, this man is having some crazy visions. There's some weird sound delay going on. Very weird sound delays. That's way delayed. Like an action happens like 2 to 3 seconds before the sound actually happens. I don't think I've ever had a game with the audio track off. Oh my god. There's the audio cues. It's more like 3 to 4 seconds off. Jesus Christ. Sure and shit. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up my... Alright, or I'm just gonna smack it. I would think that E is... In most games, E is interact, but apparently not in this game. Alright, flashlight. Click. Okay, I gotta left click it. That is a pistol.
I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Okay. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the we've already read that. That was what we read at the beginning. Folding camera. Okay. Gunpowder, coal springs. How do I take a picture? I mean, I see the picture icon. Alright, that's some kind of vision or something. Photo of trophy plate. All right. I mean, I got a brick. Okay, now we're talking. See? God damn it.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Oakmont Monolith National Park. I just got just got all that evidence. We're doing good in here. We have figured out the mystery. What mystery? I do not know. Mystery of the shack. Mystery of the boat.
Now get out. Now get out.
It's awfully rude, but all right.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet
That
you
lip
in the
sync is
flesh.
so far off.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome
That
to
rhymes.
the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
About my problem. What's the deal with the city? Nice suit. Let's go nice.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
It's true.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Okay. Let's find
You
out
said
about
you
my
know
problem.
someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
So the
Reaching
city.
Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What do
How
you
do
do?
you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
How do I get to this Devil's Reef?
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Cool. Thanks.
That's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No, no. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Press M to activate the map. Press T for more information. Alright. So this looks like the map of the city. Looks like a pretty big, because the game is open world. It looks pretty big actually. Like it looks like a fair-sized city, I'd say. Select main case in the casebook to see the clues. Look at that fish over here. Casebook. Gotta find Robert Throgmorton, whatever. We already read that. No side cases yet. Of course, no complete. Trophy plate with a strange fish. Looks very lifelike. Ugh. And it's a weird looking fish. And that's pretty much it that I know of. We don't have any skills as of yet, so let's go ahead and get going.
We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
Okay. And why? That is a big nasty octopus. Why is it just sitting there? That doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's praising the boat. I mean, it seems like a pretty good boat. I get it, you know, I understand it. I really like the atmosphere of this game so far. Oh god, look at that shark, dude. Why? I mean, this place has to stink, right? I mean, it just has to smell terrible. No trespassing. Don't tell me what to do, okay?
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
I do not get that reference, and it makes me mad. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor, unreadable. I fear that will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on. Unreadable. In the end, it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. He's here. He who? What is this? Some kind of green goose?
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Okay, gave me XP. All evidence collected.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
I don't like that.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business. Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing
Innsmouthers, I
business.
got you. Fishing business. Apparently we don't like Innsmouthers. I don't know what they are, but another octopus just, you know, chilling. Wait. Why? You know what? Let's not get sidetracked. We can always come back, but I need to stay focused. Nice dress. Her butt's just hanging out of it, but okay. It's pretty weird. She's like got these weird blood markings on her.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles
Seems rude.
Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Is this dude a monkey? What happened to your son? What do you know about the visions? Your features are
Please
unusual.
forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family. which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite
So he
features.
fucked a monkey, is what you're telling me. That makes sense.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouther-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Okay.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Tane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
You don't boss me around, okay? Anyways, before this rude man interrupt, I mean, I can always use some metal scraps. So we need to go. I should probably just focus on doing the main mission. I just wanted to take a look around real quick. This place is like falling apart. Why would you ever want to live here? Also, what's up with all the octopi? Just laying around everywhere. Okay, look what we got here. Hello?
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
I think I'm good, but I appreciate the offer. That really means a lot to me. So far, as I mentioned before, the atmosphere is really good. The rainy, dark, moody music going on. I really like it. God, why? Can I climb this ladder? No, I cannot. What the fuck is that thing? What is that? What the fuck is that thing? Is that a cat? No, that's not a cat. What is that? It's not a rat either. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't like it though. Okay, so we need to look for a house. We already found the lifeboat, I'm pretty sure. I don't know where the hell the house is. Is this the house? No. Yeah, we've already been here. Let's pull up our map. All evidence collected. So now we need to go. All evidence collected. So we need to go to the fisherman's house, which is actually behind us. I went the complete wrong way, but now I know what the green ones mean. The green whatever's mean. So I'm pretty sure we were standing right beside the house that we were supposed to go in.
I've said everything I know.
Okay, you didn't say anything to me, but alright. Bunch of fish and blood, cans. So far nothing. Bunch of fish just hanging up. This place has to stink, right? I mean, it just has to smell good.
This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
I mean, you gotta take care of the dog first. Dog before yourself. You know, I'll just rummage through here and grab what I can. You know, I don't know whose house this is.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
How do you... Wait, it's damaged and wet, but you say it's well taken care of. Okay. Wait. See? Let's go back in here and use our minds out. How do I do anything with this? Okay. I don't even know what the point of that is, but alright. Anything in here? Nope. Dude, what is up with all the octopi? Like, seriously. Do these people just hate octopus?
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
How do you even know? Never mind.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me what happened. Nah, who are
Tell
you?
me about yourself.
Name's Will. Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst, and he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything, and I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul?
Maybe.
Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Okay, new mining place clues. We're gonna check those in a little bit, don't worry. I did not forget about them. These mirrors don't really work.
Choo choo.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Don't mind me. You know, just gotta take a look real quick. Oh shit. That guy's fucked up. There's some blood on the barrel. I mean, this
I
guy's...
can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Okay. Did I just go crazy? Nah, I'm crazy, huh? Okay. I can dig this. But now what?
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
Why do I have my gun out? Yo, put the gun away.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Is it?
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Mm-hmm.
Grenna, Nehri, Grenna, Gebhal, Nugulina,
Okay. I wonder if there's anything on this.
Never seen knives like this before.
Yeah. I hear you.
Masterful work.
Okay, no. So he wasn't actually the one talking, or so it seems. This guy got his head bashed in.
Let's see what
Just
you
shut up.
find.
It would take
newcomer.
tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Allows you to understand events that happened in the past. Inspect enough evidence on the scene, the vision will emerge. Step into it.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Stop doing that, goddamn. Let's step into this and see what's going on in here.
Take this, ape face.
This seems awful rude. This reminds me of that game that I played, Return of the Obra Dinn. Okay, I mean, I don't really get a lot out of that.
What's happening?
So this looks like that Will dude, okay. The fish man, Will dude running out. So here's where a dude got his head bashed in.
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
How?
Yeah, run!
We'll say this happened first. Then this.
What?
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Okay. So, investigation, combined pairs of relevant clues. Yeah, this is a lot like that that Obra Dinn game that I talked about. Alright, so now we need to go to our mine place, and now we got all this stuff that we gotta figure out, huh? Combine clues to make deductions. Lewis shot without warning. One fisherman is missing. There were 3 fishermen in the house when Albert woke up, but I found only 2 of them. Albert Throgmorton behaved strangely after returning from the sea. He was mad, violent, and spoke gibberish. The Throgmorton and Inmouth are in an ongoing feud. The fishermen suffered a sudden psychotic outbreak after Albert Throgmorton regained consciousness. Albert fled when wounded. Albert Throgmorton fled from the fisherman's house after he was wounded. So, no. So that's not it. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous and posed a threat. Okay. Turned unstable. Fisherman suffered a center. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone's nearby suffer hysteria. Okay. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of Throgmortons. There could reason to hate them. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Okay. So now we pretty much... I can track down Albert. So now that we put all that together, we can now track down Albert, I'm guessing. Or at least that's what he said. Oof. That's creepy. Okay, he jumped out here. Now where to go? Okay, over here. Does this make me go crazy when I'm in this type of vision, or is everything cool?
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with these. Then they went this way. I don't see any more clues as of right now.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high.
Different.
Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Now, where did he run off to? Is that blood? No. So it went here.
There's something in the pocket.
Just ripped the whole pocket off? Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have steady supply channels soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Okay, bloody piece of the jacket. Found some gunpowder and some alcohol. Everything that I could ever need. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I just need to follow the blood down. I mean, we will follow the blood down. Don't worry about that. We're gonna go down with the blood, but let's go up here real quick. I just want to make sure that, you know, we're looking through every avenue. That's all. Yeah, some blood.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
We're gonna have to bash that open. Yeet!
The door won't budge.
Oh, but the door. What the fuck is that? No. Hit it! What the fuck is that thing? What is that? It's nothing but arms. It's like an arm spider. Don't like that. Don't like that. Okay, so there we found Throgmorton. He is just hanging there.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
So Albert was murdered. Murder. All evidence collected. What are these things? Nothing else in here, so let's go back to our... Nope. One of these buttons will take me back to my mind place. I just know it. I just have to find it. Alright. Bar owner is indebted to Lewis. The owner of the local bar is in the port owes Lewis Flynn money. Albert fled when wounded. Lewis pursued Albert. Lewis left the crime scene. Okay. Albert fled when wounded. Lewis may have wanted Albert dead. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton rather than just drive him off. Okay. So let's go back. Let's go back to the clues. Albert was murdered. Lewis. Ah, so it's neither one of those. Okay. Lewis the Innsmouther that killed Albert Throgmorton may be hiding at the bar in Oaksmouth Port. Okay, so we know that this is murdered. Throgmorton was shot in the head, impaled onto the hook, and hidden. Okay, so he's gonna be at the bar. God dang, I keep hitting the wrong button. So now but how is my character gonna know where the bar is? That's an issue. I just all of a sudden know where the bar is. I don't think so. Fisherman's house, key evidence collected. All evidence collected, all evidence collected, all evidence collected. Oakmouth City Port. Where's the bar? Okay, I don't know where the bar is. Never mind. Let's talk to this dude real quick.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
I just smashed it to death.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilled for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Find me that dirtbag and I'll help you with anything you need.
Okay.
I've said everything I know.
Okay, so we got key evidence, but we didn't get all evidence, is what I understand. We just want to look again real quick. We've already read that. It didn't say that we found all evidence in here, you know? We want to be thorough before we just...
Let's see what you find.
Ed! I still hear those voices.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
I mean, I know he was beaten to a pulp.
Choo choo.
Did I already search that and found something in it, but then I just found something in it again?
5 cards short of a full house.
Anything over here? We already saw that.
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
It doesn't seem like there's anything else in here. I mean, unless I'm just...
There was a fierce fight here, but
overlooking
someone
it.
tried to flee.
I don't know. We need to find the bar. I don't know where the bar is, though. I don't like those cat things. Maybe we have to go back up here and those things will appear again. So we've talked to him, gave him all the information we had. Alright, no. We're not following anything at this point. Maybe we can ask this dude. No, we cannot. And did I overlook it on the map? Devil's Reef Hotel, Oakmont Chronicles, Police Station, Asylum, University, City Hall, Fisherman's House, Warehouse, Ship. I mean, we could try this place. I mean, I don't really know what else to do. What are these things? Can't kill him. I can kill him. Under the keel bar. No, Alright, so now I have to make my way to a bar. Under the kill bar.
Oh. Yeah. Hey. Got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
I don't know what you're gonna do with a bullet, but...
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Alright, speak of yourself in the third person. Very cool.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Bunch of dudes just sitting around drinking.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Do tell.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things.
I don't even know if I have money.
For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Let's just see what it's all
Let's
about.
hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars circled by the dead. A race from one to the next as time itself laughs.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You are welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
I mean, alright, so I gave her a bullet, so now I have only 5 instead of 6, but I don't know. That didn't really mean much to me. Maybe it will later
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here.
Now we're
Remember,
talking.
better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Alright, didn't need to put that last part in.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah, even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert.
Checkmate.
So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Drock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Now it goes back to napping. Alright, so we got the key.
What the? Get the... Oh.
What the? Get the... Oh. That's me every morning I wake up. anything particular? Anything interesting around here? No. Okay. Worth a look.
Hey, who are you? What are you
Oh
doing?
my god.
Charles Reed.
He is
private
hard to look at.
investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
What kind of... why do you...
Just get right to
your
the point.
Face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends?
Yes.
What's new?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Your actions look deliberate. Why do your people hate the Throgmortons?
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
The guy's a murderer. But that Throgmorton guy is a real dickhead. So, do we want to help a murderer? I mean, we have all the evidence we need that shows that he is a murderer. I'll tell him that I won't tell him, but then we'll decide when we actually get there.
I won't tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of madness around these parts. I'm inclined to believe you fell victim to it too. Plus, it seems heartless to tear apart a family after what you've been through already.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Reed. Thank you.
That said, the port's still closed. What will you do?
Hide here, I guess. Don't have a choice. The streets are flooded with police.
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton. Leave as soon as you can.
Thank you again, sir. I won't forget this. Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
Alright, let's get back into our mind palace. Alright, yeah, torn pieces of blessing. Okay. Lewis was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. Lewis was aware of his actions. Lewis was aware of what he was doing during the fight. Lewis was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. Lewis was under mental influence. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I could try to cover for him, or else Robert Morton will have his head. Or, anti-Throgmorton's sentiment, Lewis may have wanted out. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people have suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be the reason they hate them. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton rather than just drive him off. Lewis deliberately murdered Albert. Psychic influence or not, Lewis was out to murder Albert Throgmorton. He had a motive too, the mutual hatred between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. I must tell Robert the truth and bring the murderer to justice. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis, Flynn, and his fellow fishermen. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. I mean, that's all true. So these are all maybes, and this is all true. Like, these are facts, this is maybes. We're gonna go with the facts. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Can we save? Yeah, let's save. At least we were smart enough to manual save. Didn't mean to do that. My bad. Alright. So now we've pretty much got all the evidence that we can get. So let's go see Mr. Throgmorton and deliver some kind of justice, I guess. Oh, I mean, I just don't know what the right call is. I mean, this seems like the right call to me because we have our facts on the right versus maybes. Like, that's all those are, is maybes. Maybe he did it because he's mad at Throgmorton. Maybe he did it as some kind, like, those are just maybes. Those aren't evidence. That's not evidence.
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those things prowling the back alleys. They tore him apart. It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This isn't closure, but at least I know now the story. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Kay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Any links between visions and hysteria? You think the flood is unnatural? Any discoveries so far?
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calming from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
Let's find out more. That's why we're
If
here.
I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
I got a whole bunch of XP, I got a knowledge point, and I got all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that was I think that's the best way that could have ended. I don't know if I made the right choice, but it felt like the right choice to me, you know? Alright, so we got a couple documents, we already know that. Okay, no bestiary. Casebook is our new. We got a key. Did we level up? We got 1 skill point. We got 666 experience. Okay. Combat proficiency, vigor, mind. Carry up to 25 pieces of any crafting material. Seems good. Earn more experience and stay sane for slightly longer. That also sounds good. I usually always go with that because the faster you earn experience, the more you can level up. I mean, that just makes sense. Carry 7 more pistol rounds. When close to death, slowly regenerate a limited amount of health for 1 last fighting chance. That sounds good too. Set traps twice as quickly. That sounds good. Keep an extra bullet loaded, gaining a chance to deal double damage with the pistol. We're actually going to go with this. I know it's not that interesting, but like I said, we'll be sane longer and we're going to be getting more experience. That just seems to make the most sense to me. But with that, that is actually going to be the end of this video. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I really hope that you're enjoying this this so far. I know it's new, I know it's just started, but even just an hour into it, I am very intrigued with this game. I love the getting the clues, and you know, like you feel like a real detective, you know, kind of like the Batman games, but a little bit more than that, because like you're actually having to put these clues together, and at the end of it, you're deciding, is this way? It's not so black or white, you know, it's not one way or another. Yes, this man murdered the guy, but was there more of a reason than, you know, just, hey, it's murder, that's the end of it. Life doesn't always work like that. There's the gray areas, and I love that it shows that, and you get to make the choice, and I think that's really cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to more of this, and hopefully, like I said, you guys are too. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know that I'm on the right track, or the dislike button if you didn't. Either way, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, you know, what you're thinking of it so far, what you'd like to see, you know, out of the game. Also, if you're not already subbed, go ahead and hit that sub button, sub to the channel, so that you know when the next video goes live. Other than that, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Don't be crying off lashes, saying your last goodbye.